Hello everyone, I'm coming to you today from the gorgeous hillside of Sintra, staying at this great hostel that has these gorgeous gardens that you see in the video right now. So I decided for the video I would rather record my voice later, only because I did not want to disturb how gorgeous this garden is and the peace that was happening. It was very amazing. So bear with me today. It might be a little bit different than normal with my voiceover, but we are going to have a great practice. Today I'm focusing on the low back and releasing pressure and pain in the low back. So grab your mat and join me. So we're going to start on our backs here. I want you to find a comfortable position and then bring the feet flat on the mat, about as wide as your mat, and let the knees fall in on each other so they're kind of resting on each other. Noticing that you don't want the small of your back to be lifted off the ground, but rather tuck the pelvis under so you get that back to flatten onto the earth. Hands can come to your side or they can relax on your belly like mine. Closing the eyes. Let's just focus on slowing down the breath. If hands are on the belly, we can really feel the breath coming into the stomach as we inhale, expanding. And as we exhale, the stomach deflates, belly button towards the spine. Continue to slow down the breath, quiet the mind, as we begin to shift our focus away from everyday life and onto the body, the breath, and the spirit, the soul. So coming all the way up here, bringing the knees up, keeping them wide here, we'll start to pivot the knees side to side. It's a little bit like windshield wipers here as we drop the knees side to side. Get nice and slow. We'll bring the knees up into the chest, rocking a little side to side. Perfect. Keeping the right knee into the chest, let's extend the left leg straight out, or we can place that foot flat on the mat here if it's a little easier for you. And just start rocking that right knee side to side across the chest. Good, and releasing, maybe start to extend through the hamstrings as you lift up and back down, and lift and back down. And this last one we'll hold all the way at the top or maybe halfway, and we'll just play around here with some twists in the ankle, moving the toes. And just, when we're done here, we'll straighten the leg out as far as it feels good. And maybe bring the hands to the back of the thigh. Continue circling the toes if it feels good. And relaxing, releasing the hands, we'll bring the knee into the chest here, and we'll start to twist that knee all the way over to the left side. Right arm might reach back behind you, and you might be all the way rolled up on that left side, just kind of relaxing, let the shoulders drop. Deep twist into the back. Relaxing the body. And gently we'll bring it back in towards center. Squeeze that knee into the chest. Lift the head up like you're going to kiss the knee. And release, switching sides as we extend that right leg out. Left knee will come into the chest. Rocking the knee side to side across the chest just as before. And we'll start to extend that leg all the way up and back down. And up and back down. And brushing leaves off me. And then halfway here, we'll play around with the toes, making circles. And lifting all the way up, or as much as it feels good, grabbing the back of the leg. Of course, continue moving through the ankle if it feels good, or keep it relaxed. Checking in the neck and the shoulders are rested. We'll release the hands, your knee into the chest. And find our twist, bringing that knee over to the right side. Left hand might reach back behind you or to the side. Using your breath here on the exhale, imagine relaxing deeper into this pose, letting the ground support you. And bring the knee into the chest, again lifting the head up to kiss the knee. And relax the head back down. We'll bring both knees into the chest, rocking side to side. And nice and gentle, we'll bring the knees to one side. Find our way up to a seat. No rush, no hurry to get there. And whatever seat is comfortable for you, we just want to make sure that we're sitting in a way where the tailbone's nicely planted into the ground and the head's lifted high up towards the sky or the ceiling, making a long spine. And just start to circle the neck here nice and slow. One way. And then take it nice and slow the other way. Trying to find the dark corners of the neck here as we move slow and gentle. Awesome. We'll take our right hand, bring it over to the left side of the head and gently pull down. Left hand might flex. And we'll release, switch sides. Left hand coming over to the right side of the head. And that right hand might flex out to the side, making that stretch longer through the arm, top of the shoulders. And release back to center. Bring the fingertips together. Inhale, press away from the body and up towards the sky. Exhale, release, stretching out on your way down. Inhale, back to center. Press out and up. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, press out and up, this time following the fingertips towards the sky. And we'll bring the hands to the back of the head. Exhale. Inhale, open the chest, let the shoulders pull together. Exhale, rounding forward, elbows towards each other. Good. Inhale, open those elbows, open the chest. And exhale, rounding down, chin to chest, relax. Good. Last one. And relax. Back to center. Inhale, reach the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, twisting over to the right side, sitting tall in the spine. If it feels good as we lift through the top of the head, you can always look back over your right shoulder, making sure we're still breathing here. And on the inhale, back to center, reach the hands high. Exhale, fold it forward, let the head and shoulders relax. Even if you're not fully folded forward, even if you can't touch very far out in front of you, just make sure the shoulders and heads relax. That's what we're focusing on. Low back release as we roll up to the top. Inhale, hands reach high. And exhale, we twist to the left, remembering to lengthen that spine, sitting tall and maybe looking over the shoulder. Breathing in and out through the nose, lifting. As we come back to center, we'll bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees fall out to the sides. And just take a second here to massage the feet. Maybe take your thumbs, dig them in to the juicy bits of the feet. Maybe open the feet up like a book. You can play with the toes, you can pull on the toes. Just kind of find some pressure here. We don't give ourselves enough love, especially in the feet. Make sure we're doing that now. And then we'll just lift the chest forward, finding a flat back. Breathe here a moment. When ready, relax, folding down, let the head and shoulders drop forward. Big breaths in through the nose. Feel free to sigh through the mouth here as we relax into this posture. Relaxing in the pose. Keep your breath. And slowly rolling up to the top. We're going to bring the feet around back behind us as we find our way to tabletop, our hands and knees. Making sure our knees here are directly underneath the hips and our hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Fingertips spread nice and wide here. Cat-cow as we inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the head. Exhale, scoop the pelvis under, rolling the head down. Continue moving here with your breath, starting at the tailbone and ending with the head. really pressing out that air on the exhale. Maybe take some circular motions here. Shake out the hips side to side, relaxing. Take the right hand in between the shoulders. Left hand reaches high as we reach under. Land on that left shoulder. Keep that tailbone lifted high, right arm relaxed. Head on the ground. Nice deep twists, breathing softly. And coming back up to the top. We'll bring left hand center, right hand will reach high. And as we exhale, that right hand's going to reach through, landing on the right shoulder top. Head on the ground. Tailbone high. And using that left hand, pressing ourselves all the way back up to the top. Walk the hands forward just a bit. As we bring the forehead down to the mat, keep that tailbone lifted towards the sky for puppy pose. Actively reaching through the fingertips. Deep breaths here. And bringing the weight into the hands, tuck the toes. And gently lift up into a soft downward dog. Nice bend in the knees here as we start to straighten into one leg and then the other. Pedaling out the feet, maybe even leaning the hips side to side here in this gentle down dog. Back to center on the inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, back up. Again, bending the knees, coming onto the toes, look forward. And back up, last one. So you bend the knees on the toes, lift and coming all the way down. Perfect. Big toes together, knees wide, and we'll sit back into a gentle child's pose, forehead on the mat. Deep, heavy breaths as we feel the belly expanding between our thighs. Oftentimes when our low back is stiff, it's also a sign that our hips are a little tight. So poses like this one and others that we'll do today will help focus on opening the hips gently as we release the low back. Good, so we'll come all the way back up into down dog, bringing the weight into the hands, lifting up gently, and start to walk it forward to the front of the mat. Nice and slow, baby steps. And then when you get there, just hang forward in this nice forward fold. Maybe grab the insides of the elbows, and we'll just sway it out side to side like a rag doll. Head and shoulders heavy. And gently rolling up to the top, slower than you think that you should. Taking our time today. And when you get to the top, maybe shaking out anything else that needs to be shaken out. Rolling out the shoulders. And we'll finding the top of our mat, feet together, feet hip distance. As we inhale, reach the hands high towards the sky. We'll take the right hand, grab the left wrist, and begin to pull the arms over to the right side. Hips are going to press over to the left. And your next inhale, release back to center. Exhale as we pull the right hand over to the left side. Again, pressing those hips to the right. Next inhale, back to center. Exhale, we'll find a back bend as we lift the chest and reach the arms back behind us. And inhale, coming back up to the top. Exhale, folding forward, let the head and shoulders relax. Inhale, find a lift halfway up till we straighten out our backs. On to both sides of the feet. Step that left foot as far back as feels good. And we'll lower down onto the left knee for a low lunge. It's important here that we check alignment. Right knee should be stacked right over the right ankle. Hands on both sides of the feet here as we lift the chest forward. Option to bring the hands onto the knee as we open the chest, or lift those hands high as we reach into the hips, keeping that chest open, shoulders relaxed. Deep breath here. And gently we'll bring the pose back down, hands on both sides of the feet. Start straightening into the right leg as we let the head drop forward. Nice stretch on the hamstrings, release of the low back. And flowing, we'll inhale, come back up to the lunge, lifting the chest. Exhale, bring it back, straight leg, relax. Keep it going, inhale to the lunge. And exhale, straight leg. Good. This time we'll bring the hands down the inside of that right foot. Walk the right foot out to the edge of the mat. Good. So you can stay here. You're already getting nice into the hips, or you can always start to lower, maybe down to one elbow or both elbows. See what feels good. If you've got blocks at home, that's always a great option too, to hold the blocks under the hands or under the elbows. Really try to focus on relaxing the head and shoulders. Coming back to the hands if we're not already there, walking the foot back in line. And we'll step it back to tabletop. Knees together here as we sit back onto the heels for child's pose. Same with our arms back beside us, palms up and forehead on the mat. And coming all the way back up to tabletop, we'll take our left foot, step it up into that same lunge, checking our alignment here. Hands can stay on the floor, coming to the knee, or extending those hands up towards the sky. Making sure we're not sinking too far into the hips here, but that we're still controlling our body, not collapsing into the pose. Chest is open. And hands will come down to both sides of the feet as we find that straight leg on the left side. Relaxing the head down. Big breaths, maybe sighing out those exhales. And finding our flow here, we'll inhale, come to the top of that lunge. Exhale into half splits. Keep it going. Moving at your own pace here. And then as we bring it up again, we'll find that same pose as last time. Hands coming to the inside of that left foot as we walk the foot to the edge of the mat. Staying on the hands or lowering down. Remember, this is your practice, whatever feels best for you. And slowly coming all the way back up, we'll step back and lower down onto the belly this time. Elbows staying in by our sides as we lift up to cobra pose, opening the chest forward. Breathing shoulders away from the ears, and we'll lower all the way back down. Inhale, open, look over to the right. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, look up and over to left side. And exhale, lower back down. Tuck the toes, gently find your way back up to downward facing dog, tailbone towards the sky, fingers spread wide. And then walking out the legs again if needed. Feeling a little sore today from hiking. And walking it all the way to the front of the mat. Find a flat back looking forward. Don't hit the tree here. And exhale, forward fold, let the head relax. Rolling up to the top, hands reach high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reaching the hands back overhead. As we exhale, folding forward, hands will come down onto the mat. Step your left foot about halfway back, feet planted on the ground. 45-degree angle with that back foot. Right knee is bent, knee directly underneath over the ankle, and hands can be on the hips. If it hurts the shoulders, to have those hands lifted high, making sure that the hips are rotated towards the front. And then we'll bring the hands behind the back, grabbing the hands together or grabbing opposite elbows. We're going to pull those shoulder blades together. And we'll fold it forward into humble warrior, letting the head drop down. Now make sure that you continue to put pressure into that back foot to stay balanced. And releasing the hands to both sides of the feet, step it back, top of a push-up, lowering down onto the belly. And we'll lift up for cobra pose and back down to downward facing dog, tailbone high. Maybe wiggling the hips side to side. And when you're ready, we will take that left foot, reach it. Nice breaths here. Left foot's going to step up in between the hands as we find warrior one on the opposite side. Checking our alignment here, knees over the hip, or knee is over the foot. And the hips are pointed forward, pressing through that back foot. Good. And the hands are high, shoulders are down and relaxed, making sure the chest is open. We'll reach the hands behind, grabbing hands or elbows, chest open. And ready to fold it down, humble warrior, as we bow to the front. Should be a really nice release on the low back. I know we're working the legs a little here, but it should feel nice. And when you're ready, we'll release the hands down and step that left foot back, lowering back onto the belly, this time lifting high, chest open. And we'll roll it all the way back down and come into Sphinx pose. So elbows coming right underneath the shoulder tops here as the hands reach out in front and actively pressing that chest forward. Making sure to not relax here and dropping the chest. Chest is open and head is relaxed. And when ready, hands will come back underneath the shoulders as we find our way back up to tabletop. And back to child's pose, again with the knees together, arms back behind us, forehead on the mat. Finding some relaxation here. It feels really nice to let the back round forward. Good, and coming back onto the knees, finding our way to tabletop. We're going to take our right knee and slide it all the way up towards our right wrist, letting the right foot walk over to the left side. And the left foot's going to slide back as far as it feels okay. Now noticing if your hips are really high in center, you want to drop the weight over to the right side so we have that right thigh planted on the ground. This way we don't open the hips too far. And we'll fold it all the way down, letting the forehead relax on your forearms. Or if you've got a block handy, maybe resting on the block. Keeping this pose steady, we'll hold here. And again, using the breath to control and relax. And slowly bring hands under the shoulders, lifting them all the way back up. Tuck that left toe until we can walk the knee forward. And we'll switch sides, but before doing so, shake out those hips. Good. Left knee is going to slide all the way up. And we'll drop over again until we find that left thigh so the hips are protected. Find a little lift in the chest before folding it down and relaxing into pigeon on the left side. You find your mind wandering in this pose. Maybe focus on the breath. Maybe count your inhalation, your exhalation through the nostrils. Finding the time to slow down, give our back the relaxation that it needs. And as we come up, this time we'll bring all the weight really heavily over to the left side so we can swing the legs around to the front. Good. We'll bring our feet on the floor, a little bit wider than hips here. We're just going to let our belly fold onto the knees. Head drops between the knees and just keep this nice rounded position. So it's a very, very gentle stretch. We're not trying to do anything extreme here. You might let the head sway side to side. Very subtle stretch. Feels good. And we'll find our way down onto our backs when ready. Awesome. Bringing both knees into the chest here, maybe rocking a little bit side to side. And hands on the knees here. As you inhale, I want you to straighten the arms forward, pressing the knees away from the chest. And on the exhale, draw the knees wide and circle them back in towards your chest. So again, inhale, pressing away from the body. And exhale, circling out to the side and back to center. Again. Awesome. Last one. And we'll bring it all the way back. And this time the feet should be a little bit closer towards the tailbone. Bring the hands to both sides of the hips, palms down. We'll lift the hips off the ground here. See if we can roll the shoulder blades underneath. We're just going to hold this pose for just a moment. So in this pose, we're strengthening low back. Good. As you lower back down, we're going to take our right foot, reach it off the ground, and land the right ankle on left thigh. Good. So you can stay here as you press the knee away from the body if that feels good. Or you can grab behind the left thigh and try to pull the body in towards the chest. So pulling the knees, still trying to press that right knee away from the body. Noticing that shoulders and neck should be relaxed here. Releasing the hands, continue twisting that right leg over the left. And we'll drop both knees over to the left side. Now, if this doesn't feel good to stay twisted this way, you can unbind the legs and do a natural twist. Whatever feels good. But here we really want to focus on fully relaxing the weight of the body into the ground. Promise the weight can support you. Just relax. And coming all the way back to center, I'm covered in leaves. And we will find the other side here as we bring the left knee onto the right leg. Again, staying here, or you've got the option to bring the hands behind the right thigh, pulling the knees towards the chest. Shoulders relaxed. We're not lifting that chin up towards the sky, but rather relaxing, tucking it in just slightly so the neck is supported. And releasing here. Continue twisting that left leg over the right. And we'll drop both knees over to the right side. Again, if you need to untwist the legs here, do whatever feels good. We want to fully relax into the ground. Option is to look over your shoulder. Or maybe looking up at the sky. Closing the eyes. Give yourself this time. And coming back to center, releasing the bind if you have it. Knees into the chest, rocking side to side. Now finding happy baby, knees come wide. And feet come up like you're going to walk on the sky. Grabbing the bottoms of the feet or grabbing the big toes here as we take the knees wide towards the armpits and rock side to side. You're actively trying to pull those knees apart and towards the ground. Feels really good on low back. It's nice on the hips as well. And then we'll release finding our way down to our final resting pose, Savasana, as we let the legs straighten out, feet fall out to the side. Hands can come down by your side, palms up, or hands again on the belly. Noticing the shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. We can control the breath for so long in the class. See if you can let it become natural now and let it sit. Letting the body completely melt into the ground. I encourage you to sit here for a few moments. I'll play a little music before completing the class. As you start to wake back up, take your time here, moving fingers and toes and rolling to one side as we find our way to a seat. There is no rush, no hurry to get there. And I just want to thank you for joining me in this beautiful place today. I hope you had a great class and that you enjoyed the relaxation of the back and slowed down a little bit. As always, it's a pleasure teaching you. The light within me honors that within each one of you. Namaste.